So the Jets are going to play the Steelers on Sunday night. Obviously, the news came out as we taped this on Tuesday that Russell Wilson's getting looked at for that starting position. And I'll tell you, it's funny. I'm curious about your perspective on what this says about the Steelers and where they are, because Justin Fields has been playing well. Yes, they lost the last two, but what do you think's happening there? And how does that affect? And how's that affect? And how's that affect the locker room? And how does Tomlin deal with that? And should Russell Wilson start?
As players, you only control what you can control. As a defense, they need to go out there and play the best football they can play. I mean, their defense has played well this year. I think they're only giving up 14.3 points a game, which is, I think, a second in the league. So they're doing their job. I think if you go with Russell, does Russell give you does he give you better leadership on a consistent basis on the field? I think he helps you because now this is very similar to what Seattle used to be. Run heavy, play pass. Well, what are the Steelers? Run heavy, play pass. That's what they do. They're going to run the football, they're going to run the football, they're going to run the football, and they're going to play pass. And that's one thing that I think Russell has done well with in his career, especially when he was at Seattle. And then when he went to Denver, they didn't do that.
Yep.
And that's not what he is. He's not a drop back, throw the ball 45 times a game quarterback. So I think he fits this system perfectly. And I always thought that when they got him, and then he got injured. So having him come back in, I know it's still in him. I know he can still throw the football. Now he just got to have the belief in what he still is. When he sees that person in the mirror, he's still got to believe in that person. I don't know if he does. I'm not, in his house. But if Mike Tomlin believes in him and Mike Tomlin sees enough of him, Mike's going to give him opportunity because Mike knows there's not a lot of great teams in the National Football League right now. When you look at it across the board, you've got some good teams, but there's not that many great teams in the league. And if they can find their footing with that quarterback position, Mike knows they got a great chance.
And Rod, you're, of course, absolutely right. And I was nodding my head vigorously. Denver did not do what the best organizations do for their players, which is best position them to be their best. A lot of people forget that when Russell was in Seattle, there was at least one season, perhaps more, where he was the team's leading rusher. So your point about his mobility and his ability to run the ball is well taken. And, I shared with Suzy earlier, I have no ill will whatsoever towards Justin Fields, and he's been doing a great job. I would like to see Russell get a chance. I'm a softie in that regard. Let Russ cook.
Yeah, if he's healthy, and if Mike thinks, and Mike's a really good coach. Mike he listens to the locker room. He listens to his leaders. If Mike believes that Russ is going to spark that offense, then he's going to give him that opportunity. But if he believes that he's still injured and he can't move around, he can't perform like he should, then he's going to keep the young fella in.
Yeah, it's so interesting. He said that he saw that the calf injury seemed like it was healed. He said that he's going to watch him this week, but it's that decision with a team that's, what are they, 4-2? And it's just a question of if the young kid is playing well, and yes, they've lost the last two, but you're bringing in a quarterback who's new to the system, who is obviously Russell Wilson, but that's a big gamble.
It is a big gamble. They are 4-2. They're tied with the Ravens first place in the division. It is a gamble, but when you're in the building, like I know he's remembering what the offense used to look like with Big Ben being in there, where they used to sling that thing down the field, he pass. Big Ben would run and rumble around. It would be hard to get him down. They want something similar to that. Now, it doesn't have to be that explosive, right? Because you're not going to have that. But you have talent at the tight end position. You got tight end like your receiver position. You have players across the board that can make plays for you. Now you got to be able to distribute the football as a quarterback. And if Mike Tomlin believes Russ is going to be that guy to ignite that, then I would not be surprised if he gave him that opportunity.
Do you think Mike will have some fun and maybe put them both in on a play or so here or there?
That would be, hey, you know what? You need to talk to Mr. Smith over there, the offensive coordinator. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll send him my notes. I'm sure he'll take them very seriously.
You can put on your offensive coordinator hat at
Yeah.
that one. I'll correct myself. They lost 2 of their last 3. Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.